Welcome back to the channel. Today I am down at Benson Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram, and behind me is the all-new 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Massive shout out to them for providing this truck for me today. I'll have all of their contact information down in the description below. Today we're going to take a look at the Overland. This one's finished off in black and has an MSRP just under $54,000. Under the hood is the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6. This can be paired to either the 6-speed manual or the 8-speed ZF automatic transmission. This engine produces 285 horsepower at 6,400 RPM and 260 pound-feet of torque at 4,400 RPM. It is rear-wheel drive with the optional 4-wheel drive engagement, weighs around 4,700 pounds. 0 to 60 can happen in around 7.2 seconds, and it has a top speed of 110 miles an hour. And with a fuel capacity of 22 gallons, you can expect the MPG to be 16 in the city and 23 on the highway. The wheelbase measures 137.1 inches. It has an overall length of 218 inches. The width is 73.8. It has a height of 75 inches. It can ford through 30 inches of water and has ground clearance at 10 inches. For off-road performance, the approach angle is at 40.8 degrees. It has a breakover angle of 18.4 degrees, and the departure angle is 25 degrees. Starting up front with the traditional Jeep style grille, it features 7 vertical slots finished off in aluminum with a nice mesh behind them. This has LED headlights. You can see that they protrude into the outer 2 slots, and this is carried over from the new design on the JL Wrangler. This also has LED daytime running lights along with LED turn signals, which have been placed on the front side of the fender flares. The lower bumper houses 2 fog lights with a nice aluminum trim piece running around them, along with 2 tow hooks on the upper side. The hood latches have been revised to make it easier to open and close the hood, and the windshield is also removable. There are 2 spots on the hood that it'll rest on when it's open. Moving to the side, this model has the 18 by 7.5 inch granite crystal wheels. They have a 2-tone design along with a 5 double spoke pattern wrapped in Bridgestone all-season tires. 4-wheel disc brakes are on all 4 corners, giving this a braking distance from 70 to 0 in 185 feet. Heavy-duty Dana 44 solid axles are both in the front and rear. This has removable doors along with the 3-piece hardtop, which is also removable. Running boards are featured on this model, and then looking at the side fender flares again definitely gives it a very aggressive appearance from the side. And finishing up in the rear, we'll start off with Jeep written out in the tailgate. Just below that is the backup camera along with 4 parking sensors in the lower section of the bumper. This has LED taillights with the integrated proximity sensors. The tailgate is also lockable. Down in the lower bumper, there's also 2 rear-facing fog lights along with 1 tow hook. With the towing package, this has a towing capacity up to 7,600 pounds, and on the driver's side is the single exit side exhaust nicely hidden underneath the bumper. That's going to finish up the exterior walk around on the all-new 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Comment down below, what do you think of this truck? I have been dying to see this in person, but I like how it looks. It's very proportional all around, even with the bed on it. And I like the fact that it has a really nice departure angle. They've nicely hidden the exhaust up underneath, so when you're off-road, you don't have to worry about that. And overall, it has a really nice design. There are several different options that you can go with. There's the Sport S, the Overland, and then the Rubicon. But now with the key, we'll go ahead and take a look at the interior. On the back side, as long as the truck is locked, we can double tap this button here, and it has remote start. And then again, just double tapping this will automatically shut it off. Again, with the truck locked, as long as I have the key on me, I'll just place my hand on the door handle and it will automatically unlock. The door panel is finished off in black leather with silver stitching running along the armrest. Up top is the aluminum release handle along with the power mirror controls. Lock and unlock is just below that. Down at the bottom, you have a very large net for extra storage space, and then just underneath the armrest is another grab handle. This will help with taking the door on and off, so you obviously have something to grab onto. Moving inside now, this has the optional leather seats. You can see Overland written out in the middle section here. Nice bolstering support to them. There's even more silver stitching running along the bolsters and the bottom section. They feature a 6-way adjustability with 2-way lumbar support. All of the manual controls are on the side for your recline, your lumbar. There's also a slider bar in the front section to move the seat forwards and back. Once inside, we're greeted with a fully wrapped black leather steering wheel. You can see more of the silver stitching running throughout the inside, along with some brushed aluminum pieces giving it a really nice look. On the right side, you have all of your cruise control settings along with the adaptive cruise. On the right side is your Bluetooth controls, and all of these buttons here will control the center screen. Looking at the gauge setup now, on the left side you can see the tach along with the drivetrain selection. On the right side is your miles per hour, and then right in the center you'll see you have your fuel on the right, engine temperature on the left side. We'll start with the speedometer. You have vehicle information like your tire pressure, your coolant temperature, various other vital information that you can look at. We can go to your off-road settings so you can see your pitch and roll, and you can also view the degrees of the steering so you can see where the wheels are placed at all times. Going down to driver assistance, you have your adaptive cruise. There's your fuel economy that you can look at along with your range. You have your standard trip A and trip B along with your engine start stop. You have your audio, your messages, and then going into the setup, just hitting OK, you can control what you'd like to see and where you'd like to see it on the screen. So for example, if we go to the upper center, we can look at speedometer and you can see that change, or you can see the menu title. To the left of the steering wheel, there's one speaker along with all the headlight controls. You have one air vent surrounded by leather. There's even more leather up on the dash, another speaker in the corner, a little bit of storage space in the middle, and now we'll take a look at the 8.4-inch touchscreen navigation screen. If you're familiar with Jeeps, this center screen is identical to all of the newer models, very easy to go through. On the bottom is all of your preset buttons, and these are configurable, but right now you'll see media is to the far left. We can go into climate. You have all the controls down below for fan speed. You can just click on the number you'd like, or just click on the fan itself to turn it up or down. You have dual zone climate control, so you can set the driver and passenger individually. There's more controls in the center here for the heated seats and the heated steering wheel. You have more research on the top. You can go into the apps button and look at a lot of different settings. You have an off-road pages app, which is really neat to pull up, so when you're off-road you can see the degrees of your steering wheel. When I turn that, you can see what you're in, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. You have an accessories gauge to look at all of your vital information, along with your pitch and roll, so you can see that as you're going through the trails. And when I mentioned earlier, you have a configurable preset button down here. If you're off-roading a lot, you can just drag and drop this down to the bottom and easily get access to it. And then back to the apps page again, just to scroll through this. You have your phone, your navigation again, so we can pull that up full screen and view the map. Beneath that center screen, you have more climate control buttons along with the volume and power for the radio. You have your fan speed right in the center, and you can see that pop up on the screen itself. So if you don't want to go into the screen, you have the actual buttons. There's tuning for the radio on the far side. More AC controls in the middle, along with the heated driver and passenger seat, heated steering wheel control. You have a mute button down below, along with the cylinder deactivation, traction control, your parking sensors. There's a downhill assist control, and you can turn that screen off if you'd like. Right in the center is all of the window controls, so they're nicely placed in the middle. There's a 12 volt to the left. On the right side, you have more USBs and auxiliaries. And then below that are 4 auxiliary ports. So if you're hooking up compressors or exterior lighting, you don't have to have random buttons within the interior. They're nicely placed here for anything that you want to hook up. A little bit of storage space to the left of that. And then moving behind that, we'll look at the shifter. It has a nice Jeep logo on the top. You pull the trigger on the front, we can put it back into reverse. The lines turn with the steering wheel, and you can see that black line running right in the middle to know that you are lined up in case you're backing up to a trailer or something like that. We can go all the way down into drive and pop it over into manual mode if needed. And then to the left of that is how you engage four-wheel drive. So you can see 2 high, 4 high, neutral, and then all the way down is 4 low. Moving behind all that, we have the leather wrapped parking brake along with 2 cup holders. There's a nice slot in the middle here for your phone or something like that. The center console has more leather along with the stitching, and then there are 2 compartments. So if I pull on the top latch here, you have a little bit of storage space, and then if I pull on the second one here, that'll reveal even more storage space. You have a USB in the back, so a good amount of room. And then moving over to the glove box, you have a little more storage space. You have a grab handle up top, finished off in leather, along with more leather on the dash. We'll take another look at the leather seats. Have a really nice design to them. And then this does feature the 3-piece hardtop roof, so you can take off the driver and passenger side. Each side has 4 clips, so there's 1 in the front, along with 1 right in the center here, and then 2 in the back. Very easy to remove both of these pieces. Up in the top, you have more of the assistance controls, along with the rear view mirror. Now it's time to take a look at the rear seating, and the door panel, of course, is finished off just like up front. You have even more netting down below, along with that grab handle to take the door on and off. This is a 5-seater truck, so let's go ahead and hop in. Behind both front seats, there's nice leather storage pockets for anything that you need to put there. Two air vents are in the center, along with both of your side window controls. This has a household 3-prong outlet, along with a couple more USBs above that. There's 2 cup holders down in the lower section. And then talking about overall leg room, at 5'10", I definitely have plenty of room for my feet. There's a couple inches in front of my knees, and then I have like 5 or 6 inches above my head here. So for the back seats of a pickup truck, very nice and comfortable. The seats feel like they're reclined just a little bit, so you could easily be in the back seats here. Very roomy, even for 3 people. Looking out of the back glass now, this is the manual adjusting sliding glass that obviously you can open and close. Looking at the middle seat here, you do have an armrest along with 2 more cup holders, which is nice to see. In the back here, you can see the roll cage nicely covered up. And in the center here, it's even more covered with 2 speakers, 1 on each side. You have all of your dome light switches in the center, and then all around are grab handles, making it very easy to enter and exit the vehicle. Now we're going to move on to the different ways you can configure the back seats. They do have a 60-40 split to them. So on the driver's side, I'm just going to pull on this latch to completely fold this seat flat down. You have some storage space behind it along with the netting. And then if we fold down the passenger seat, you can see that there's a speaker back here along with the built-in Bluetooth speaker. So you can easily just pop this out, carry it with you wherever you'd like, and it will charge while it's plugged into the vehicle. So that way you can carry your music with you. And you have a keyhole on the top, both on the passenger and driver's side, making your valuables even more protected, especially when you have the doors off. And then last up is the storage space up underneath the seat. So just by pulling this up, you can see there is plenty of room on the driver's side here. You even have a compartment for all of the bolts when you take all of the doors and the roofs off, so that way you have them nicely hidden away and you won't lose any of them. Flipping up the passenger side now, you can see you have all the jack and everything down there. Now moving on to the bed of the truck. It's only offered in the 5-foot bed, obviously for better departure angles off-road. The payload capacity is up to 1,600 pounds. However, the tailgate has a rating up to 1,800 pounds. You can also get a 3-position tailgate, which is optional. And this truck is 31 inches longer than the Wrangler with an extra 19.4 inches between the wheels. Walking up to the truck now, just pulling on the release handle for the tailgate. It has a soft open tailgate, very light to open and close as well. There are 4 tie-down hooks within the bed, and then this is finished off in metal, making it very secure for its payload. You can put anything in the back here that you would like. There's also a dome light on each side, making it easier to load and unload things at nighttime. And again, this has a very light tailgate, so you can do it one hand and easily close it up. All right, so setting off in the 2020 Jeep Gladiator, just making my way out of the gravel parking lot. I would love to be able to test this off-road and see what it's really capable of with the solid front and rear axles and the departure angle, the ground clearance, the approach angle. This is definitely a very, very capable pickup truck for off-road. I'm super excited to be able to drive this right now. I've driven the most recent JL Wrangler, so to me, this is very, very identical on the inside. Everything is laid out pretty much the same. So far, it's driving the same as well. Very smooth for a pickup truck. Even having a solid front axle, I know sometimes that can make the ride not as smooth as traditional independent front suspension. Visibility is virtually identical to the JL Wrangler. Of course, without having glass in the back though, you have the open bed. Makes it easier to even see traffic behind you. And a quick glance over your left and right shoulder, there's really no blind spots. You have the glass pretty much right there. So overall visibility is really good. I really like being behind the wheel because you have the pretty much vertically slanted windshield, which makes it very easy to see the hood. I'm basically looking right at the base of the hood. So you have clear visibility out of the front. You can easily see the far passenger side too. So if you're off-roading, you can easily place the vehicle and see all around it basically, which makes it very nice. Moving back to comfort again, now that I've put a couple more miles on the car, it's still been a smooth ride. I like the seating position, but I like the fact that you are upright. You're basically right on top of the hood again. I could easily see this being a good daily driving pickup truck. Very smooth. I like the placement of the steering wheel. I like how easy it is to use everything. The center screen, very easy to use with the touch screen, of course. And I do like all of the buttons that are below it, but now that we're on a twisty road, I'm gonna jump back to the handling. It's taking these roads very well. I'm just going a normal speed. You can feel a little bit of the body roll. That's to be expected with a pickup truck, but it's feeling pretty solid around these turns. I really like how it's handling. But going again back to the center buttons, I like that you have all the AC controls down below, so you don't have to go into the center screen in order to use them, which makes it really nice. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of gas, see how well this gets up to speed. Oh. And that's just in normal automatic. I didn't put it into manual mode in the shifter there, but I am up to the speed limit just like that. And coming later this year is going to be a 3-liter turbo diesel engine. So I know a lot of people are going to be excited to see that engine. It'll have 260 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque. And I can't wait to drive that to compare it to the V6 in this truck right now. Well, I might as well talk about the turning radius now that I'm making a U-turn here. For a pickup truck, that's pretty good. Very tight turning radius, had no complaints with that, didn't even have to back up obviously. There's also a lot of standard safety features on this truck, and those include the adaptive cruise, which I showed. This has rear cross traffic alert, blind spot monitoring. All of that is integrated into the side mirrors and in the rear taillights. What I really like about this truck, and this is obviously different than the Wrangler since you can take all the doors off and there's no closed storage space in the bed, and that is all of the room that you have in the back seats. I'm very impressed with how a full-size adult like myself can fit in the back seats comfortably. A lot of pickup trucks tend to have very upright back seats. They have limited leg room just because of the cab size. But they did a great job on the Gladiator, giving you tons of room in the back for people and tons of lockable storage space. So when you're driving around with all the doors off, it gives you plenty of storage space to hide anything that you need. The glove box is lockable as well. With the top off now in the front side, didn't take that long to do. You can remove the back side. There's a lot more bolts to that I'm not going to get into today, but you do have the option to completely take everything off, which is another reason why the back glass there is manual sliding, because you have the option to do that and of course take the doors off, which is pretty cool. I wish I could do everything today, but just with the front side here, I'm not really yelling too much louder than I was with the roof on. There's not a whole lot of wind noise. You can probably see it just at my head here. And then down in the middle here, it's not too windy. Obviously it's a lot more windy near my head, but I like having the top-down experience. It's a cool feeling. So my overall thoughts on the Jeep Gladiator, this is very fun to drive. I like the interior layout, very nice. It's premium feeling for an off-road truck. So you have all the luxuries, all the technology that you would want, but you also have all the capabilities to take this off-road. You have so much potential in modding this truck at the same time, but in the stock configuration, I'm sure this would do very well off-road. Definitely an awesome truck. I am excited to see Jeep bringing back the pickup truck after, I think it was around a 20-year absence. They have brought back the pickup truck. Everyone is super excited for them. They are flying off the lot, so they are very hard to get a hold of. But I think that is gonna wrap up my walk-around review and test drive in the 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Massive shout out again to Benson, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this pickup truck for today's video. Definitely check out their website. They have a huge selection of inventory to choose from. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button. We have more Gladiator content on the way. Make sure you stay tuned, check out those videos, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.